During the semi-colonial era of Tianjin, North Jiefang Road was known as Central Street, and it was one of the centers of the city where financiers and power brokers changed many parts of the world. Interspersed among these influential banks seen in the previous video are other historic and often foreign institutions. In some, you can actually learn about rather than just silently stare at history because they are museums, like the Tianjin branch of Bank of China Museum, the Tianjin Museum of Finance, as well as the Tianjin Post Office Museum I mentioned last time. The Tianjin Postal Service is distinguished as having issued the first postage stamps in China, a defining moment in Chinese postal history, attributed to the consequential Sir Robert Hart. Credit should be given where credit is due, in spite of his questionable intentions. Due to the unequal Treaty of Tianjin, foreigners like Hart were put in charge of Qing Dynasty's Chinese Maritime Customs Service, under which the postal system first operated. At that time, the Tianjin custom right next door was headed by the German-British Gustav Detring. It was he who executed Hart's postal ambition, and it was also he who plotted one of the largest transfers of Chinese lands into foreign hands in history, involving the Kaiping mines and co-conspirator, future American President Herbert Hoover, then working for Berwick, Moray & Co. of London. Even though the British judge Sir Matthew Ingle Joyce reprimanded Hoover for deceitful business practices, Hoover still attained prestige in the private sector, which underpinned his eventual public career. During Hoover's time in Tianjin, he stayed at the Astro Hotel, and guess what? Gustav Detring was a major shareholder, and the luxurious hotel still stands on Central today. Yet another example of how this area changed the course of parts of the world. The Astro saw quite a few other notable individuals from that side of the Pacific. Take for instance, then former US President Ulysses S. Grant and King David Kalakaua of Hawaii. The hotel, called Li Shunde in Chinese, is so illustrious it has its own museum in the basement, and it might have inspired the naming of the eatery Li Deshun. I'm pretty sure the two are unrelated, but the Chinese names are so confusingly similar, can't help but imagine a connection. Regardless, Li Deshun has solidified its presence as a local institution in the dining scene and has seen its own share of big-time customers. It is particularly known as a favorite of De Yunshe, a renowned group specializing in xiangsheng, a performing art most associated with Tianjin. Like I explained in a recent episode, the city's status as a major trade hub attracted Chinese and foreigners alike, and the resulting cultural diversity became fertile soil for the growth of cultural heritages like dagu, xiangsheng, shidiao, or other performing arts, and of course, culinary arts as well. According to culinary pros and experts, Tianjin cuisine traces its roots to several others. Firstly, and perhaps not as obviously, Huaiyan cuisine. And its appearance in Tianjin is largely ascribed to the Huai army commanded by Li Hongzhang and garrisoned here during Qing Dynasty. For the same reason, Tianjin dialect is related to Jianghuai dialect. Secondly, and more obviously, is halal cuisine, as served here at Li Deshun. Separate groups of Hui Muslims have inhabited this region since Yuan and Ming dynasties, and the impact is apparent. Many of the city's iconic dishes and historic restaurants are attributed to the Hui people. But I should note that while adhering to the Islamic faith, Hui chefs have embraced the cultural diversity of the city. Take for instance this dish, guo ta sanyang. It is believed to be a halal adaptation of look at this shrimp. It's huge. It's believed to be a halal adaptation of another dish called guo ta li ji, which is a sort of pork tenderloin omelet, and probably the origin of the Japanese omi rice variation, Tianjin, also known as Tianjin rice. And yes, the Dragon Ball character is named after the dish. And by the way, his three-eyed design is based on the Chinese deity Erlang. Third is Shandong or Lu cuisine, as served here at Dongyinlou. Consider checking out the restaurant if you visit the Astor Hotel, because it's only about 2 clicks away, and it's a genuinely time-tested institution, renowned for Lu-style dishes such as this Wanban Chuanbei, warm mixed scallops, probably derived from the warm mixed style of dishes common around Shandong province. The aforesaid guota li ji, pork tenderloin omelet, is also considered an adaptation of guota-style dishes from Shandong. For a plethora of reasons, the reaches of Lu cuisine have extended across much of North China. According to a book by Aishinkakura Hiro, the sister-in-law of Qing Dynasty's Pu Yi, the last emperor, when the preceding Ming court relocated from Nanjing to Beijing, the chefs in the new imperial kitchen inside the newly built Forbidden City mostly hailed from Shandong. Hence, the popularity of Lu cuisine in the capital. Of course, there's only a tiny episode in the epic movement of Lu cuisine. And speaking of the capital, last but not least, is influence from Beijing fairs due to proximity. Hence, Peking duck like roast duck are served in many restaurants, including here at Dongyinlou. But we had Peking duck in Peking just a few days ago, so skipping the birdie here. In general, some people think Tianjin foods to be overpowering and salty. Personally, I think the local cuisine is powerful and delightful. I've enjoyed every meal so far. When feasible, come see the real beautiful China, come to this city of diversity and enjoy the diverse array of delights. 再见。